Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to talk about right now is what people are seeing and experiencing in everyday life when it comes to being of the prepared mind. And I get sent pictures, videos, and emails. And if you would like to send me something for a video, just email me. My email's in the description box below, okay? So this first email comes in from a community member. And she says, "Where in the world did you find your tree? Because I would love to have one. We went one winter with no power, and the three of us slept in the same bedroom. My husband and I and our son shared a room with our animals so we can stay warm." Well, that's a really good idea. Another really good idea in order to stay warm during winter months is to get you can get a really like cheap tent at like Walmart for like $20-$30 and put that on top of your bed, and that actually keeps you warm too. Yeah. But I have 3 Christmas trees. I know you guys are gonna be like, "Are you serious?" Yes, I'm serious. I have 3 Christmas trees. The one tree is my son's tree. Then we have our tree, and then the silver looking tree that you saw, that's my angel tree. That angel tree was purchased at Big Lots, like 2020, I think it was, and they were only like $40. But I know they still have them because I saw them there this year. But I think they're still about $40-$45. Yeah. And that is my angel tree. Yeah, I know. I love it. It's so beautiful. So here's an email from a community member. She said, "I have a question on a bill I received from MDI Hospital, Maine. So I called the number on the bill. I had to make 2 different calls, and both times I spoke with men that had foreign accents and hard to understand. To verify my identity, I had to give my name, my birthday, my address. And at the end of the call, I asked where he was located, and he said at an offshore location. Wonder why all of our medical records are getting hacked." In May of 2023, MDA Hospital Maine medical records were hacked. I remember that. I remember when that happened. Yeah. All information, including social security numbers, were taken. Yeah. Don't be surprised if it's like India or something like that. That's where a lot of our phone calls are being transferred or diverted to, from my understanding. Yeah. So here's an email from a community member along with a link to looks like a YouTube channel. She said, "Wow, we are living in a police state. Dave Hodges has been deplatformed." Dave Hodges. Okay. He's at commonsenseshow.com now. Not sure if you want me to put this in one of your video comments. Um, don't try and put links in the comment section, only because they always get deleted by you know who. You know what I mean? So just email me anytime you guys want to send me a link, or you want me to see a link, or whatever the case may be. Just email it to me, because I've been noticing that a lot of things with like links and stuff like that get deleted. What had happened was someone had left a link, and I went to go click on it, and I got this error message saying something went wrong. And I'm like, what the heck? What do you mean something went wrong? So just email me all the links, okay? And she said, also check out 11/25/23 Michael Jaco, Jaco, huge intel. Video is on on Facebook under Marlinest or Mark Nest. Can't read my writing. We are no longer conspiracy theorists. We are enemies of the state. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so commonsenseshow.com for Dave Hodges. Well, I hope you're ready for some inspiration, because here are some pictures and an email from a community member. She said, "My eldest son was clearing out some things in his freezer and gave me 9 packages of beef smokies. So I canned them up. I did 13 pints. Unfortunately, 5 did not seal." See, remember when I emailed you and I said, out of like the 5 dozen jars that that I pressure canned that day of the homemade SpaghettiOs, 7 jars did not seal out of 5 dozen jars. Only 7 didn't seal. So is something going on with ball lids? Something's got to be going on. She said, all the new ball lids, no rhyme or reason to why they didn't seal. But they will be eaten up, right? Exactly. Can't let that stuff get away. She said hubby likes to eat at midnight, late night snack. So I'm still getting duck and hen eggs, though not as many. Wow. So, okay, these pictures are really awesome, by the way. But if anybody else is having problems with their lids not sealing, let's talk about this because this is something that I'm experiencing and then she's experiencing too. So here's an email from a community member, and she said, questions for anybody. I live about a mile or two, 3 miles away from a nuclear plant in our area, and I was wondering if I put LED surround through my walls in my house and sealing it on the floor, if it would protect my husband from an EMP and anything else that could be a problem for his pacemaker. The other thing is, I would like to put the flag up on my property upside down. Oh, girl, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't put the flag upside down on your property, please. She said it's to tell the government we're not taking their crap anymore. I would like to know what anyone else thinks, please. God bless you. Thank you and have a Merry Christmas. Honestly, sweetie, the government's not, they're not going to care. They're not going to care. So why even go through the effort? You know what I mean? They're not going to care. But maybe somebody does have a way to help you with your question about your husband and his pacemaker. Okay. So here's an email from a community member, and she said, I was horrified to see an article about USDA regulations whereby genetically engineered food could be labeled either on the package in words or included in the QR code documentation. Yeah, they're probably going to do it more on the QR code because not everybody would think to scan that, especially our elders. So they're not going to know what they're looking at anyway. And so they're probably going to use the QR code, unfortunately. Yeah. She said, I am not a cell phone user, so was mad to check that this information would not be available to me at all. Exactly. That's why they're doing that. That's why they're doing that. Hide it the best way that they can, of course. She said, since the Mars and Dove company bears the warning message directly, I have been refusing to buy their products in the case of Dove for about 6 years. So, upon learning of this regulation, I called Hershey. As it turns out, Hershey has opted to go with the QR code route. They're all going to because that's the best way to hide things, hon. That's just it's their way of thinking, you know. So she said they did direct me to hersheyland.com where you can go under products, select all kinds of dietary things, including non GMO, organic, gluten, etc. So the only non GMO chocolate that they have is the organic dark chocolate line, which I've never seen anywhere. It's probably something that's only available online. Yeah. She said the non GMO line is mostly skinny popcorn products. I've never tried that skinny pop stuff. Has anybody tried it? I don't. I just I I have no urge to eat that, you know. She said, as time goes on, there are fewer and fewer products that I can buy. Shame on Hershey and the USDA. Probably they know people will avoid their products if they knew. I have not contacted Toblerone yet. Once I kick Mountain Dew, chocolate is next. I don't drink Mountain Dew. Yeah, I just for some reason, I mean, maybe it's just my weirdness, but for some reason it looks like antifreeze, so I won't drink it. Yeah, I don't know. So here's an email from a community member. She said, our tall, yep, that too. Our town is small medium. I order from Missouri Standard and it delivers to a pickup point in town. My husband was out of town, not normal, and I had to go pick up the order. I arrived about 30 minutes early. They say to get there 15 minutes early and backed up into the usual parking spot. A lady in a white van parked not next to me, but skipped a space and parked in the next one, leaving the center one empty. But when she pulled in, she pulled her van right on the driver's side white line, so the space between us would have been almost too narrow to park in. I saw a big white GMC truck with extended side mirrors come around the corner and stop, and acted like he wanted to pick just the right parking spot. He backed his truck and catty cornered right from me and sat there for a few minutes, then pulled forward to back into a parking space catty cornered left from me. He stayed there for a few minutes and then pulled forward and started backing up in the space between me and the van on the white line. The truck was big and had big side mirrors, and I thought, oh gee, I don't think he's going to make it into that spot. So about quarter of the way back, as he backed in, I beeped one time on my horn to warn him. He pulled his truck about halfway in the slot, rolled down his window, and I rolled down mine about halfway. He began to loudly cuss and scream at me. What the H did I think I was telling him where to park? Continued cussing. I said the van was on the white line and I didn't think you would have enough room. He continued to scream and cuss at me, and I rolled up my window praying Jesus would protect me from this demon. He kept backing up in the slot behind that one and parked. I knew he would have to leave the same way he came out, and I did not want him hitting my left panel of my truck. So I moved my truck away from him across from where he originally parked. When I got out of my truck, he was getting out of his and he threw his arms up in the air and began laughing like a wild man, turning around, staring at me. What's wrong with him? Why would he do that? Does he must have issues. So she said, so I got back in my truck and waited for the Azure driver to get the line started for the people in line to grab boxes, put them on the name tags on the ground of who ordered what for pickup. Everyone usually gets in line to help unload the items and put by the appropriate names on the ground. Little later, I walked over to my name on the ground to begin getting my boxes, and I saw the Azure standard coordinator. I asked him if I could talk with him to the side, and he said yes. I told him what happened, and while I was talking to him, the guy was in line and turned around and looked at us, talking, and started waving his arms in the air and hysterically laughing and looking at us. Is he on drugs? And the coordinator saw him, and I asked if he knew him, and he said yes. The coordinator said he would do nothing about it. He was not the cops, and that was that. I said, okay, what if the guy does this to someone else and it is a guy or a big dude and he's not going to take it from him? He said, I'm not going to do anything. I said, okay, I carry, and if my life is threatened. And that is all I said, and looked at him. I said to him, okay, I got my boxes, and another lady was nice enough to help me with the big box. Hi, Stormy. I got in my truck while he was still loading his truck and got out of there. Please don't go anywhere by yourself. There are so many hateful, evil people out there. Oh, believe me, do I know that. This is why I like my grocery shopping. I do through Kroger and it gets delivered. Sam's Club and it gets delivered. If I ever need anything in like a pinch, I don't go anywhere by myself. You know what I mean? I'm not going to take that kind of a chance. There's too many whack jobs around. And, you don't know if they're one, off their meds, two, psychotic, three, they're carrying something, four, they're on something, so it's kind of just like, it's too much to handle anymore. It really truly is. So I stay in my house, and I don't leave. I really don't. I leave to go to doctor's appointments. I have to go pick up my prescriptions, and sometimes even Walgreens, they'll deliver them to me, but I really truly just don't. And it's because of things like this. Yeah. I I'm not going to put myself in any kind of a situation. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So here's an email from a community member along with some pictures. Thank you. She said, beware, power companies changing out meters, but say to upgrade. They don't tell you it's a smart meter. Oh, dear God, they did that to you? Seriously? She said, I was blowing leaves off the deck and just happened to look at it. After it was installed. Said I didn't want a smart meter. They said it was already installed. And I said, you did not tell me it was a smart meter. Take it off, period. Prepared minds everywhere. Good Lord, girl. What? I don't, I mean, and the messed up part about this is, one, they're not going to tell you because there's going to be a lot of like kickback. You know what I mean? Like we're going to start yelling. So they do this right under our noses without telling us because they think, who's ever going to go outside and look and see if it's a smart meter? Well, now we're all going to go outside and we're all going to check. Wow. Thanks so much for this. So here's an email from a community member. She said, I just learned about this information regarding the dog virus yesterday. Along with everyone else that volunteers at the store, a customer told us about it. Who knows how many people don't know about it? I don't watch MSM, me neither. She said, but I do have outlets to keep up with the news. I haven't seen this in any of the news. I actually did a video about that. I did. And it it's like in 7 states, something like that, and it mainly affects dogs that get taken to like dog parks. If you put them in like overnight shelters, if they go to the groomer or stuff like that. Yeah. She said, I read that it's in Florida, so maybe you already know. Yeah, of course I already know about it. Thank you. She said, thank you for your latest video. It was packed with some common sense info. I do word searches, puzzles, etc., and I've been pretty resilient all my life in spite of the crappy childhood, but I have ADD, which can be exacerbated due to post-concussion syndrome. My co-volunteers at the store are understanding and helpful. I hope I will have the mental toughness when I need it. Stress causes the exacerbated symptoms. I also tend to freeze in certain situations. Me too. Me too. You're not alone. It's happened to me and multiple times. And believe me, when I say I freeze, like I can't even breathe. Yeah. So she said, otherwise, I feel prepared. Hopefully, I have no family, but I do have a few good friends, and I'm very grateful for them. Yeah, I get it. I do. Stormy, can you stop doing that to my glasses, son? Thank you. And before I go, here's one more email that was sent in by a community member. And she said, your pal from Minnesota here, a couple weeks ago, you were talking about car insurance. Yes, I was. And it's just terrible what's going on with car insurance. It really, truly is. She said, my renewal just came up and it was more than I expected. No tickets, no accidents, been with Progressive since 2000. I called them and asked them if there are any discounts. I mentioned I only drive maybe 2,000 miles a year. I got a $50 discount for that, off full premium. Then I mentioned deductibles. Mine were 500 for collision, 500 for glass. I upped my deductibles to 1,500 each. So I went from 942 down to 673. Wow, that's a huge jump like that. Wow. Okay. For the whole year. Wow. That's no kidding. Okay. I'm still paying for the car. So that's with full coverage, me paying it all in one installment. It was well worth the 10-minute call. That's an option if you want to check it out. Yes, I will. Thank you. It doesn't hurt to try. It's my pleasure to try and help. You do so much for our community. Thank you, sweetheart. She said, may you and yours have a joyful Christmas and New Year. Thank you very much. We'll try. I'm going to have to tell my son about this because we're all on USAA, military. So I'm going to tell him about this, see what he can do about upping our deductibles, and let's see what we can find out, and I'll let you guys know, okay? All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fear less. Ciao.